YASHARAHLA, kind of trying something somewhat new. I'll wait for brothers get in for a little second. But hey, YASHARAHLA, try to do more of these live streams. But first and foremost, before I begin, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Chodash, the monks of the apostles, the monks of the elders, the great millstone, Reuben, touch the truth. Much respect to you, brothers out there, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. The word full comes to earth, tabernacle, David, hope for elect, and speckled bird, one say, Shalom. So as you see on the title, it says various topics. You know, I'm going into, you know, one video that got pulled up. I want to get, you know, China exposing the truth about luxury brands, you know, because over here in Babylon the Great, you know, it's consumer, man. For the most part, Babylon the Great is not building all its products, right? It's buying them, purchasing them from all these other countries, especially China. And then this video that I'm going to get in a second, right, pretty much exposes, you know, these incoming tariffs, you know, just smells doom, right? So if you're not making your call and election sure, not doing what you're supposed to be doing, right, it's not going to be it ain't going to be pretty for you, because it's going to get ugly out here, man. It's going to get ugly. So we in those times where Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, is going to take care of his elect, right? So make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? The men of the Lord and the elect is going to be able to eat, right? We seen these terrorists go down. You know, that's for the MOTB to be ushered in, right? We also got this video that I want to get with, guess you got with Terrence Howard, right? Which I might end up getting that one first, which pretty much, you know, hey, we've been telling you over and over, you know, the ways of Hollywood, you know, trying to make it here in Babylon the Great ain't gonna kick it, man. Right? They got to do some things behind the scenes to make it. Let me see where I want to start at, Slaki. This is, matter of fact, before I get that, I'm going to get Isaiah 28, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood we are hid ourselves, right? So a lot of these lesser luminaries, you know, people out there in the world, right, joining hands with Esau, Edom, getting that bag, doing some, as Corley Holcomb would say it, you know, backdoor your shit. All right? They thinking that they good, you know. They're not going to, you know, the money's going to save them. You know, but as we see time and time again, when Hollywood is done with you, you know, they blast your name out, man. You know, they put your name out there for dirt. I'm going to get verse 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. You see, your covenant with death is not going to stand, and we pretty much seeing that time and time again with these celebrities. Right now, the main one is P. Shitty, all right, P. Diddy, right? Once again, you can get to that level, right? Jake and his kingdom, they can get that money, but they don't have power. I've heard where it says, matter of fact, it's probably in the same video, right? P. Diddy got generational wealth, but he did not have generational power. See, that's what we're going to get in the kingdom of heaven, man. Wealth ain't going to be nothing, right? We're going to be the men of the men. And we're going to be those men, right? From the least to the greatest, going to have a crown upon their head, man. Money ain't going to be a thing. We going to have everything. Multi-trillionaires, right? So let me go ahead and play this video. I'll play this one first. Let me see where I want to get to first. Let me turn it up real quick.
Terrence Howard has been in the news recently.
Let me know if y'all can hear it.
About the issues that go on with Magnolia. Terrence Howard said something about once your manhood been grabbed up out of you, you need therapy. All right?
What benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men.
See, men in the Lord, we understand that we have to have integrity, man. You know, even until the end. Matter of fact, I'm going to get this in Sirach 2, right? You know, hey, I'm not sure if Terrence Howard is in the truth, you know. But as men in the Lord, us that's in this walk, right, we have to have integrity no matter what comes our way, right? We got to keep that integrity. Sirach 2 and verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem prepare thy soul for temptation, right? A lot of us have talents. A lot of us could have made it in the world, but we chose Yahweh Ba'ashem. We chose this walk, man, because we understand, as I said earlier, you know, in the kingdom of heaven, you know, we going to have that praise, right? Hey, that money ain't going to be nothing, right? we going to be the men of the men, all right? The elite class, we going to have everything, man, of your heart's desire, right? So with us knowing that, what's the point of having your constellation right now? Like the lesson I did the other day with Pegatron, man, Gorilla Hebrew. All right. He got his constellation, man. That Jake that's over here comparing him to Jesus, all right? Right? You got your constellation. Instead of rebuking that, instead of correcting that, brother, you post it up to your page, bigging yourself up, man. Right? And as I was going into it last night in the lesson, right? What did John the Baptist say? You know, hey, I couldn't even tie the Lord's shoes, man. You know, he came on that humble spirit, right? But anyways, Sirach 2 and verse 2, set thy heart aright, constantly endure, and make no haste in the time of trouble, right? That's keeping that integrity, right? The times that we coming into, you know, with these tariffs, turning up stuff, right? Turning up the heat. The other nations getting angry. The other nations are gearing up together. Hey, this is actually a praising time, right? Because we seeing Jake, people out there in the world, man, they going crazy, man, because they understand that price is about to get jacked up. But we understand that the Lord's going to take care of us. But, you know, whatever comes our way, we got to trust in the Lord that he's going to, you know, take care of us. Verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. You see? What's the point of choosing this world, man? Right? When the Lord has something great for us, man. All right, let me get back to it.
We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason.
Let me see if
because
I go
aggression
to...
is necessary. You don't trade that, no matter what.
Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you got...
Some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't...
Seeing, walk in the studio and just seeing uncomfortability to my...
Let me see.
in a position of power.
Slide here. Trying to get to...
We don't have any foundation to put. We don't have any foundation.
I'm going to just get right there.
So maintain your man card, no matter what.
You see people struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head.
Yeah, he said maintain your man card.
No matter how
You know, apply that to your truth. Apply that to the truth.
you gave up your man card.
Maintain your man card and endure to the end. Your heart right desire. You know, no matter what comes your way, you know, Esau Edom going to dangle that MOTB, you know, a lot of the weak is going to end up taking it. Oh, what about the kids? What about the food? How I'm going to eat? You know, you trust in the Lord that the Lord going to take care of you.
I walk in the studio and just seeing uncomfortability to my eyes. It's what I'm not used to seeing two men do.
Yeah. Anyways, let me go to the next one. It's about 10. Like I said, I'm just skipping around in here.
They don't have their dream. They don't have the soul to go and get the role.
Reader, if I want you to be a slave,
They have the money that trade their bodies to go and get the role. They get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything.
So could this be an explanation?
That's why, you know, a lot of these celebrities, you know, they ain't happy, man. You know, you might see them out there in the world, you know, Jake and just these people in general try to say hi to them, and you know they just ignore you, right? Because deep down inside they know and understand what they had to do to get that money, man, to get that praise and fame on this side of the world, man. You know, that's why we tell you, hey, it's not worth it, man. What these people had to do behind closed doors, man, hey, it is not worth it, man. And a lot, you know, Apostle Gabar goes into it a lot. You know, a lot of these musicians, you know, they're a bunch of witches and warlocks. What they have to do behind the scenes, hey, once again, hey, it ain't worth it, man. Let me see if I go to my next one. Let me see. I think it's over here. Slocky, y'all. Over here looking for it. It's about right here.
Oh, I think he had some power.
It's been said by all of our leaders, and I want to address it. They keep saying we need to focus on generational wealth. Black people need to focus on generational wealth, right? Let me give you someone who had generational wealth. Puff.
Hey, we don't tell y'all about to get that wealth. Now, the scriptures say money is a defense, right? But the scriptures also say this is not your rest, man. Matter of fact, while he's getting that, I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes real quick. Slocky, I'm gonna let him.
Generational wealth, but why were they able to take them down?
What's it? Proverbs, Slocky.
Have generational power.
Because could it be the demonic energy inside of him, the power?
You see, when we in the kingdom, man, we gonna have that power, man. See, you in Esau Edom's kingdom, man, you can get that money, man. But you don't have power. You don't have power to change the laws. You don't. Hey, you don't have. Hey, when they done with you, as we see what's happening with P. Shitty, right? When they done with you, they done with you, man. Right? Let me get this right here in Proverbs 30 and verse 8. Remove far from me vanities and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, you see? And it's truth, you know. Yahweh desire, you know, each brother is going to go through whatever situation that the Lord has set up for them. But at the end of the day, right, we're praying to the Lord that he feeds us with food that's convenient, right? Not too rich, not too poor, just in that right medium where we're able to continue day to day and do this work, right? Verse 9, least I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? Or at least I be poor and steal and take that name, power in vain, you see? That's why the Lord is keeping us in that good medium, man. You know, some brothers is doing better than others, some is doing worse than others, but you know, it's all within the walk that the Lord has ordained for you, right? But you just got to go through whatever you got to go through, you know. Let me see, I got that. Jump to 17. Let me see.
And degeneracy. Oh, hold up.
You made $1 billion in one.
You dig?
Yeah, I like this comedian right here. I forget his name, but dude be funny though. It come back to me. Dude be funny.
How you got $1 billion and want to it up?
It's not your rest, Jake.
You live in a dream. You a black man and you made $1 billion, dog. And instead of just being like God so good, you went into some powers.
See, as I just read in Proverbs 30, you know, you didn't give praise to the Lord. You was over there giving praise praise through these demons, man. And so the Lord has to humble you. You know, hey, what we see happen with Boozy the other day, right? Then he get in a car wreck. Then the Lord jack him up, right? And that's going back from years ago when, you know, brothers that did lessons on him, I myself as well, you know, he put up the middle finger until YASHAMIAHLA. So what we've been seeing, you know, year by year, you know, the Lord jacking him up.
Like you better than God almost. And God was like, I'm gonna humble you.
See?
The funny thing about Diddy is,
all right, so I'm gonna go to one of my videos that I had pulled up. Let me see. So this is one of the main videos that I want to get to. You know, pretty much China. Let me get to it. Once again, it says
Are you about to go for an underhand layup?
it's from Thai Buggy podcast, right? I was watching his video earlier today. It's just one of many that's going into how China exposing the truth about luxury brands, you know, just brands in general. You know, sure, I'll give you an example like the Jordans. You know, they got the reps, the rip-offs, right? Well, come to find out, pretty much they all coming from the same factory. Because, you know, looking into that, shoot, they was comparing reps, which is pretty much the fake ones to the real ones, and they pretty much identical. You know, that's pretty much what this video is going into, right? It's all coming from the same factory. You know, a lot of our, you know, just appliances, everything that's over here in Babylon the Great is coming from China, man. So what happens, if I'm not mistaken, what they put 145% tariff, right? Things is going to go up, man. And that's issue for chaos, man. Right?
Or something like that. We all had that kid in high school. We all knew that he was obviously wearing the fake version of whatever sneaker that was. That kid would always get clowned because he was wearing the fake Jordan. So nobody wants to wear anything fake. But nowadays, it's a lot harder to know what's fake because the fakes actually look just like the reals. But what makes something real and what makes something fake? A lot of people would say, well, the reals...
So I'm going to go to the 12-minute mark.
One of their largest suppliers actually based in Guangdong in China. Interesting, the scale of the factories in this region specifically, they're not massive, but
what's the real stuff and what's the fake stuff? And if it is a little slight change in the stitching, is that worth $5,000 instead of $50, which is what it actually costs?
The shoes and all the clothes is $38,971.85. Thank you.
And so another thing about these, you know, these rappers, you know, these famous people that got all their money, they spending all this money, you know, to get their chains, to get their Louis bags and all that stuff. When they getting all that from China, man, they getting ripped off. There's so many videos out there of these rappers getting ripped off, man. You know, especially with the chains, and who's the main nation that's got the chains, man? That's Amalek. Also got Ishmael as well, Elam, Ishmael. But Amalek most definitely be ripping them off, man, giving them fake ass chains. You know, and come to find out, you know, as you see right here with the Louis bags, you know, the Louis bags, the Gucci bags, they getting them for like the low, man. They getting them for the low over there in China. They getting made from China, and then they ship it to Italy, right? And they just, you know, they put their little finished touches, you know, the little stitch, little emblem, and then they sell it to you for thousands and thousands of dollars, man. You see? That's why we need the kingdom, man. Let me see. This might not be it.
Can you check them out? Do it. Unboxing. Wow, how much are those? Oh, no. We're gonna wear them. What? Oh, no way.
This might not be it. Let me see. It's about the 10-minute mark. Slack here.
We'll see.
exclusive partner.
Stop using Alibaba. Here a better website for sourcing factories from China for specific.
So once again, you know, you got a whole bunch of Moabites over here. They're exposing the game, man. Matter of fact, I spoke long enough. Let me get a scripture real quick, and then I'll play the video real quick. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased, right? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. See, what we seeing right before our very eyes is, you know, Babylon the Great crumbling right before our very eyes, man, right? And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, while everybody else is going crazy, you know, shaking their heads, you know, what are we going to do? Hey, the prophets, the men of the Lord, the elect, right? Hey, this is a praising time, right? And this is probably one of another reasons why they wanted to get rid of TikTok, because it's just so much exposure, right? Moab is just going in. All right, he smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, and he ruled the nations in anger and persecute and none hindered. You know, pretty much the other day, if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I got anything real quick though. But yeah, pretty much the other day, if I'm not mistaken, you know, man, China's king, I should say, right? He said, America can't keep bullying, you know, the whole world with its tariffs. Just roughly paraphrasing what he said, right? Let me see. The whole earth is at rest, and it's quiet, and they break it forth into Slakia. Yeah, verse 7, Slakia. The whole earth is at rest, and it's quiet, and they break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. You see, when this man is taken down, which we seen right before our very eyes, when this man is taken down, even the trees, the animals, right? The whole earth is going to be break forth into singing, man. They're going to be so happy, you know? So Jake out there in the world, man, they should be happy with what's transpiring right before your very eyes, man. But hey, you know, only the elect is going to see it that way. Let's see. Hell from beneath is moved from thee to meet thee. At thy coming is stirred up the dead for thee. Even the chief ones of the earth it shall raise up from the thrones of all the nations. They shall speak and say to thee, art thou also become weak as we? Right? It's like, because all the other nations, man, they got sticks too. They got weapons too. You know, as you read in the book of Joel, man, let the weak say I'm strong. You know, wake up the mighty man of war. This is what's happening right before our very eyes, man. You know, what Trump say the other day? You know, he has these nations bending the knee to him because of these terrorists. That's their pride, man. So rightfully so, the Lord gonna break down your pride. Let's see, damn it, where was I at? Slakia. Art thou become like unto us? Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of the vows, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? Now Christians will read this and thinking that it's talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Now this is talking about Esau, Edom, man. Right? Lucifer just means light bringer, and the light that he brings is wickedness. So this man is being set up as an example to the other nations and to us, that if you govern your kingdom in wickedness, this is what's going to happen unto you, right? Your kingdom is going to be a perpetual wasteland, right? Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, right? Give them that wine, you know, these other nations, they emulate you. They over there drawing themselves as you, right? They they got the woman above the man, you know, all types of wickedness. You know, and you see the degrading of the whole world, man, falling after your ways. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars, I will sit upon the mount of the congregations in the sides of the north. Right? This man has that pride, man. And guess what the Lord gonna do? The Lord about to bring you down. Right? You got your satellites, your rocket ships, but you can't go past the Van Allen belt, man. You know, I know you're trying to escape your judgment, but the Lord's not allowing that. Right? I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. You painted yourself as the Most High. You had the other nations worship you. You had our people worship you, right? If we didn't worship you, we didn't worship Caesar Borgia, right? What happened? He ended up killing people, man. You know, hey, go into other parts like trying to think the era of Japan when they opened up their ports. It's not the Batu Masu era, but it's right afterwards. You know, this man was pretty much spreading his Christianity, man. And so you go into it. A lot of Moabites wasn't with that, man. A lot of, you know, there was a lot of fights. And then you also, you know, of course you had our people spread across the whole earth regardless. So, you know, Slaki, that's Ammon, right? Japanese is Ammon, so Slaki. But regardless, man, this man went around spreading his Christianity regardless, man. Slaki ain't let that load up. Of course it closed out on me. Of course I need to charge it. Get back to it. But yeah, you go into the history, yeah. Ammon wasn't rocking with it. A lot of them wasn't rocking with it, man.
For electrons.
Let me finish this and I'll play that video again. Let's see. I will ascend upon the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pits. You see? So we seeing right before our very eyes, right? The Lord is bringing down this man's kingdom. And this is a praising matter.
Components, visit OFFCN.com. For car accessories, check cheapayren.com. For industry material, gobongbong.com. For clothing, check VVIC.com. For more sourcing tips.
So once again, what she's doing, she's exposing, you know, where a lot of these, you know, high-end retailers go to. You know, they go into Moab, man, to get their stuff made. You know, and you know, for Jakes to have their own business, you go into clothing or whatever that you get into, right? You can go to these little websites and have your clothing, have your fit, you know, looking like some high-end stuff, man.
Follow UP, your best business partner from China.
Listen, man, you looking to create your own company and you trying to get that same look as Louis V or the same looks as Gucci, I hope y'all go check out these websites because they really just dropped some gems on y'all. I'm not going to hold you. Like, as somebody that has tried to have a clothing line in the past and stuff, and I'll probably bring it back, finding the right vendors, especially the vendors that these most popular brands are using because of their quality, is very hard. The fact that China is just...
See if I go right here.
Brand washing. Fun fact.
Yeah, I think this was the point. Slagia, my notes are all over the place, so Slagia.
Guys, if your hammer says made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's no quality issue. It's luxury brand washing. Fun fact, the hand stitching your product, 42% are Chinese artisans. We don't do cheap, we do underrated luxury. Why pay 2,000 euros for Parisian air, same letters and craft, just without the European fairy tale facts? Be a luxury rebel. You can shop on Chinese.
So I think I'm pretty much gonna go to the point. But yeah, if you got free time, you know, watch this video for yourself. Once again, it goes into China exposing the truth about luxury brands. I'm gonna get to what's that? 18.
Free shopping guidance and shipping services for you.
Y'all go fuck.
Investing in our people. My family also benefit from it. Now for diplomacy, now for peace, you don't need a tariff. We need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs only ship your job to China, not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollow out your middle class, crushed your working class, and taught you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, leave millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard.
See, because over here in Babylon the Great, they're not doing those things, man. Right? See, in these other countries, they build up their country. Babylon the Great, shoot, just here in Kentucky, man, you know, you had all, you know, due to all the rain and stuff, you know, the tornadoes that happened, you know, a couple weeks ago, you know, you had a whole bunch of potholes, you know, show up, you know, whole lot of, you know, instead of investing money into fixing, you know, fixing up, you know, everything, nah, you know, what Amalek has done is pocketed money, man. You know, and you other Edomites should be mad at Amalek, man. He has hoarded the blessing. You know, he has hoarded the blessing, and pretty much what we seeing right now, you know, they done with Babylon Great, man. Be prepared to see the destruction of this place. Hey, Shalom, brother YASHAMIAHLA, Barakatah. Right? They pretty much done with this place. I'm gonna get Isaiah 24 and verse 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languished, and all the merry-hearted do sigh, and the mirth of the tribute cease. The noise of them rejoice ended. The joy of the harp cease. See, these are the times that we're coming into, man. This is what you Babylonians are going to have to see the hard way, man. Right? Trump wasn't for you. Trump was for us. Right? Hey, he called it Liberation of America. Right? Liberation Day. No, this is Liberation Day for the Israelites, man. Because he's the one that's bringing in that destruction. You know, these Babylonians. This is not what I voted for. You know, they out there doing voodoo, you know, all types of wickedness, all types of madness for this kingdom to continue. No, man. This kingdom is not going to continue. This kingdom is destined for destruction, man, and rightfully so. Right? That's for our liberation. Once again, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. These are the times that we're coming into, man. When you see these terrorists tear up this place, man, these people are going to go crazy, man. And matter of fact, be prepared to see, you know, hey, that old path, you know, these women are going to get back in order. Hey, Jake going to see you with that spiritual power. They're going to be wishing that they took heed. Let's see what the brother put up. It's House of Mourning 7, Proverbs 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shah. It's like it. As the rivers of water, he turneth whatsoever he will. You see, that's the Lord controlling them, man. Right? Which you know, many people have came out. You know, at the end of the day, your president is bought and paid for. They take orders from Amalek, right? They take orders from Amalek. And they saw that Trump was the man, right? And so, you know, these wicked elites, once again, as I said earlier, man, they done with Babylon the Great, man. You're about to see this place become a war-torn country, man. People don't believe what we saying. Hey, you about to find out the hard way, man. Let's see, Isaiah 24 and verse 10. The city confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There's a cry for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Because I've been watching these dudes out here. You know, they're talking about, you know, their electronics. You know, you got like the Nintendo console, the Switch 2 that's supposed to come out. You know, you got these dudes. They say, oh, we got a 90-day delay on the tariffs, man. All right, that means we can pre-order our Switch, guys. Right? Our Switch. I ain't gonna lie, you know, hey, I want one, but, you know, if I get one, I get one. If I don't, I don't. You know, it is what it is. You know, I put my full trust and stock into Yahweh by Simeon Shah. But these people out here, these these gamers, right? They're seeing and knowing that, their console is about to go up. Matter of fact, the PS5 in other various parts of the country, I believe like Slocky World, I believe the UK, if I'm not mistaken, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, other parts of the world, the PS5 is going up. The PS5 is a 5-year-old system, man. Normally, when a system is that old, as we've seen in the past, like the PS4, PS3, PS2, right? When they're pretty much at the end of their life cycle, because what PS6 is supposed to come out 2027. Normally, what which I'm pretty sure these fools are wishing and hoping that we make it here to 2027. But anyways, what we see near the end of a console's life cycle, right? The prices are supposed to go down. No, the prices is going up. The Lord is taking away that joy, man. Right? And pretty much in the beginning, I remember, 2020, when the plague hit, that console was already hard to get. All right? So, hey, that's part of the Lord taking away the joy of this place, man. Let's see, verse 12, there's in the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. That's coming, man. The gate is smitten with destruction. Jeremiah 6 and verse 16, thus saith Yahweh Shah, stand ye in the way and see, ask ye for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. You see, 2/3 of Jakes don't want to get it, man. So they're going to have to find out the hard way. This old path that we're preaching of, which is going to be brought back in the kingdom of heaven, you should have been seeking that old path. But hey, 2/3 of Jake that's hoping and wishing that this kingdom is going to be here forever, they're going to have to find out the hard way, man. Verse 17. Also I said, watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. That's why you're going to get jacked up. You're going to see a lot of these people get jacked up out here, man. Therefore, hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected. You see that? They reject the law of Yahweh Shah. So what's the punishment of that? To what purpose cometh there to me incense from Sheba, and the sweet cane from the far country? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable. You see, they go to church, whatever God that they think they serving, God of wood and stone, they think that they serving the Lord. The Lord ain't hearing that, man. You call on another God of wood and stone, when the time of Jacob's trouble pop off, hey, the Lord ain't hearing you, boy. All right? Nor your sacrifices sweet unto me. Verse 21. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Ba'ashim, behold, I will lay stumbling blocks before this people, and the father and the son together shall fall upon them. The neighbor and his friend shall perish. These are the times that we're coming in, man. All right? So, hey, if you don't want to get it together, it ain't gonna be pretty for you, man. This is Jeremiah 51. And let me see what I want to get. Yeah, I go ahead and get 51 and verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. Right? That's not talking about taking a plane and flying somewhere. No, it's talking about spiritually get out of the ways of Babylon the Great. Right? The wine of Babylon. And deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord, Yahweh Shah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. That's coming, man. Right? So if you don't want to get caught up with that, get this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding while you can. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh Shah's hand, and made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. You see? They took on the philosophies, the ways. They seen these tariffs. They seen the way how Babylon the Great is moving. Hey, they mad. They angry at this place, man. As you read on down, hey, they getting geared up for war. And this place is going to be a perpetual destruction. Right? Let me see. Verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If she If so, she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon. Jake, you know, people out in the world, especially Edom, you know, they thinking that, you know, oh, pray for America, pray for Babylon, man. Nah, man. But she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone into his own country, for a judgment reach into heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. You see, Lord has remembered her sins, man. What she have done to our people, the world in general, right? It has to pay for that. The Lord had brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord. Yahweh, our power, make bright the arrows, right? And this is what we're reading, man. We're reading about the incoming destruction. Hey, didn't Moab, all right, China said, hey, we ready to go to war at any front, right? Hey, whatever front, hey, we ready, man. Make bright the arrows. It's talking about the nuclear missiles. Gather the shields. The Lord have raised up a spirit of the kings of Medes for his device as against Babylon to destroy, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh Shah, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambush. Right. The Lord is preparing. What we seen right before our very eyes. The Lord is preparing these nations to go to war. For the Lord have devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou dwellest upon many waters and abundant treasures, thy end is come, and in the measure of thy covetousness, right? So thy end is come, man, right? And what we seeing right before our very eyes, man, it's going to get crazy out here. But the elect is going to have that protection, man. The elect is going to have that protection. The Lord's going to, all I can say, man, you know, Yahweh Ratazah, you of the elect, you know, you brothers out there, a few sisters out there, Yahweh Ratazah, you of the elect, man, this incoming, you know, chaos that's going to be upon this world, man. Hey, the Lord going to take care of you, man. Yahweh Ratazah, right? Yahweh Ratazah, you have a ticket on that chariot. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yahweh Ratazah is an edifying lesson. Let me make sure if anybody else comment. All right, Yahweh Ratazah is an edifying lesson. Abba, Shalom.